Hi everybody, today is the start of something new. I'm going to make a series of videos, or I'm going to do like weekly videos or something, with kind of like basically asking you, the fans of Doom, for sort of ideas of how this can go, and to sort of like, if I get ideas, to talk them through with you, to make sure I'm doing this right, because like I was saying before, that's where a lot of these video game movies have gone wrong, is not having enough of what makes the game so great. So with us lot together thinking we can make this good, I'm sure we can. But I've had some ideas and I want to pass them through with you guys first before I do it. And if everyone says that is a terrible idea, regardless of where I think it's a good idea myself, I think it's wise to probably not do it. Even though I think you should trust your own instincts sometimes, I think it's wise maybe to listen to you guys first. That's the most important thing. Because I want this to work. So, my idea is, now this is going to be a big one, and I'm sure a lot of you will go, no, when you hear this, but do we give Doom Guy a few lines of dialogue? Now, before you definitely say no, hear me out, because I've been thinking about this and looking at various other films where certain characters were probably decided to be mute at the start, but they gave them dialogue and it really worked. And one of the films I saw that this does really work in is the new Mad Max film. They're it's not new anymore by any means, but it's newer than the older ones, you know what I mean? The one with Tom Hardy. Basically, he doesn't really talk, but what he says is kind of cool and iconic, and it leaves you wondering about what sort of person he is. And there's one bit where he's strapped to a car, and I think he says something like
I was what they take from me. You got my blood, now it's my car.
No, they've taken my blood, they've taken my car. And he's like, you know, all dust is going in his face. And I just thought that was really, really cool. Like he's like going through extreme stress, but he's just like angry about it. And I just thought that was like, it leaves you wondering like what sort of person he is. Is he kind of, does he have quite low intelligence and he's just like a big brute? You know, so I was kind of like, maybe we could sort of have Doom Guy saying some weird things that don't really, that sort of like, he's been through so much stress of being in hell, he's kind of like lost contact with humanity so much that the stuff he says doesn't really make much sense anymore. One of the things he could say at the end is when he sees Daisy, because Daisy isn't going to die in my film, because I'm a big animal lover, so I think Daisy's going to survive this one. Spoiler alert. That's one thing I won't go on back on. I think Daisy has to survive in this. Maybe he might die in the other one, but he's going to survive in this one. It's all about his. It's like Mario Brothers. Rescue the princess. In this, it's rescue your rabbit. So basically, when he finds him, he could say Daisy, and Daisy jumps on his shoulder, and they escape together. But maybe he could say it with the mask on. It's like that, and you don't really hear anything, but a subtitle come down below, and that's the first thing he ever says. It's Daisy, and that can be quite sweet, because it's the only reason he'd need to talk is to see his lovable pet rabbit. And yeah, what better reason to say something than the only nice part of his life is to see his rabbit, and then that's when he actually says it. As a so there is that. I did think of that. Another idea is where did the subtitle "Thy Flesh Consumed" come from? Maybe he could say that. Maybe he get bitten by a pinky or a demon, and he's like, "Thy flesh consumed," or something that sounded awful. But you know, with the mask on, muffled, really low pitched, bit demonic sounding, maybe he could say that, and that's where the tagline came. The first time Doom was heard to say anything. And there's loads of questions about that as well. Why did he pick to talk in Old English? You know, why would he even say that anyway? It's like there's a film called Hobo with a Shotgun, which I very, very much recommend. I might be able to find a few snippets of the dialogue from that, which is very odd and doesn't really fit with what's going on, but it's just quite funny and works, and it's a great film.
You vultures circle this city, tearing off the flesh from everything that is innocent.
So yeah, there's a clip from that, but it can all go wrong. It can all go wrong, and Rob Zombie did the Halloween films. He did Halloween 1 and did the Halloween sequel, which is very, 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 very odd. But basically, like at the end, Michael Myers is unmasked. He's got long hair, beard and that sort of thing, and sort of wearing rags. He looks like a scarecrow. It's a bit weird. And the line of dialogue he has, which is basically only one word, he says, "Die." And I think that is ridiculous. And James Rolfe spoke about it before, and I'm kind of piggybacking off what he said, but I totally agree. It was like, you know, we've had all this time for Michael Myers to say something, and he has just chosen to say "die," which I find a bit ridiculous, really, you know. So if Doom Guy was to say something, he needs to say something meaningful, something that gets you go, a little Easter egg, or that's why that happens, or this is why, or something, or that just sounds flipping cool that he says that. So I'll leave that to you to decide. Maybe give me some ideas of dialogue that sort of ideas I could use below or something like that. I'm really not too sure at the moment. I'm kind of steering to more. He doesn't say anything at all. I want this to be kind of a silent movie, and it's all a visual thing. It's all made out of cardboard and bits and bobs and scraps and stuff. It doesn't need a real in-depth story or anything like that. So I just think maybe just make it silent, and I'm happy with that. That's fine. But there is that little part of me that's like, do you go the extra mile? Do you be brave and sort of like do something which you know some people will be like, what are you doing? And that's where I'm asking you guys. So the other idea I've got as well is my little buddy Wilson, the love of my life. Basically, I want him to be in this. I really want him to be in this film, but it's kind of like it's maybe a little bit risky. Because what I was thinking of doing is if you've seen the Grindhouse movies, before a movie started, it would show a little cartoon or a little cute little video before all the violence and guns and blood and guts starts. So parents know, all right, it's restricted, let's take the kids upstairs and let's watch this film. So one of the videos, the restricted videos, was they got the restricted cougar animations, which you can see on, I think, Death Proof from Planet Terror, before the film starts. Now there's this other one where it's basically like a kitten playing with some wool or something, or playing with some paper, and it says, "For your information, this movie is restricted, only 18s allowed," or something like that. I'll play it to you now. So you can kind of get the idea of where I'm going with that. I will have Wilson basically coming down in the squares and stuff and playing around, and the music, and it's all really nice and cutesy and stuff before the little film starts. So I think that's how I could include him. The other idea is this. I go all out and Wilson plays Daisy. Now I'd love him to play Daisy. It's just a matter of if he wants to wear these or not. They're completely ridiculous. I'll put them on myself. There you go, have a laugh. But I put them on Wilson's head, and he shook and he just slid down his back and went onto his back, and he looked like he had wings. He looked like a griffin. So yes, I'm not sure if he'd be happy, and I don't want to push him into doing stuff he doesn't want to do. So it may be the fact that I'll have him as like a little intro at the beginning, and that's what Wilson's part of this will be. He'll be a producer as well. So let me know what you think of that. Let me know if any absolutely amazingly tasty dog treats that I can give to him in exchange for him maybe being a good boy and wearing this stupid hat. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have a very good video coming out maybe tomorrow for you to watch, based on a very, very good find I got. And I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for watching again, and I'll see you once again for more late night reviews. Goodbye. Just a quick shout to my patrons, the Soldier of Cardboard, and also the Captains of Cardboard, Ryan Byrne, Paul Keward and Luke Cummings. Thank you very much, guys. Also, if you want to join my Discord, there'll be a link in the description, and if you want to join my Patreon as well, there'll be a link in the description too. Thank you very much for watching.